Hello everyone, my name is Hisham and today I'm going to show you how to use the React developer tools. Now in our previous video I showed you how to manage state in React. So in its most simple form, so when you click this button it's going to change the text and it's going to re-render the component to show the new text. So I'm going to refresh and right now, so for example you just have like a bunch of states. So in our case we only have one piece of state, so it's really easy to manage. But imagine you have a very large application, like a big social media app. You can imagine like you can have a lot of state for that, right? And how do you keep track of all that stuff? And how do you check that your state is being updated correctly? Now, one tool that allows you to do so is the React Developer Tools. Now, if you go to this link, you can just install the React Developer Tools, and they're just a simple browser extension that pretty much like runs on Chrome and Firefox, pretty much like any major browser it works on. And the point of this React Developer Tools, it basically adds debugging to your app, right? So you can see how your app behaves, you can see how the data changes, and you can catch any weird stuff or like weird behaviors. So in order to use this extension, so actually when you hover over it, you can see that it's red and it says that this page is using the development build, right? Because we're still like developing our application. But in order to actually use the developer tools, you need to right click. You can open the developer tools and a new tab will show up. It's called components and there's profiler. They have the React icon. So when you click it, you can see this is the React component tree, right? So there's app and there's app title. Now in order to see this, now you can see we have this app component. So React automatically infers the name of the function as the name of the component, and we have the app title, right? And that's what React does. So you have the app and we render inside of it the app title. Like I said, this is inferred automatically by the function name. Okay, I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. Okay, so now, like I said, we have the app. Now the app doesn't have any state, but if we go to the app title, it actually has hooks, a section for hooks, and it has a state, and it says hello world. Okay, so this is actually the equivalent of our use state here. It's represented this way. And actually you can see like this one, because like the order is important in React, so the order that you call your hooks in. So if I can have like multiple use states, and React actually keeps track of the order of each execution, right? So you can have multiple states and React will actually keep the order of them. That's how React manages them. That's why you usually don't want to have hooks inside of conditions, because the order is important to React. Okay, so you can see we have state that says hello world. There's also some other information. So you can see this is like rendered by the root app component. And there's like the create root function that I showed you earlier in our index.jsx file. And or I said main.jsx. And there's like the version of React. So we have 18.2. And you can actually see the source code file and the actual line. Okay. So right now I can actually modify the state directly. I can change it to hello there. When I press enter, you can see that it changed. So pretty much like I can do whatever I want. So yeah, you can just modify the state directly. But this only works in development. So if you have a production app and you try to do this, it won't let you do it, because it's going to be read only. Now, like I said, so when we click the button, it's going to re-render, right? It's going to update the state, and when the state is updated, the component's going to re-render. So I'm going to click the button. You can just keep an eye on this. I'm going to click the button and you can see that the string changed, right? So you can see how important these developer tools are. So you can pretty much see how your data is updated in real time. So if you have like a bunch of state, you can just do a bunch of interactions in your app and you can see how the data is changed. Now props, I'm gonna talk about those in another video, but props are also like a very important feature in React. You can also click this button, right? Lock this component to the console. When you click it, it's actually gonna log the component to the console. I'm gonna click it, and you can see that we have props. It's an empty object for now, but we have hooks, which is an array, and the first element is an object that represents our string state. So like I said, the order is important in React. So if you have multiple use state calls, they're gonna be ordered in this array by the order that you actually call them in the code. And you have the nodes. So what are the nodes that are being rendered? We simply have a simple div, like you can see in the code here. So I think we're rendering the app component. And yeah, so that's pretty much it with the React developer tools. There are also like some cool tools such as the profiler, but that's a completely different subject and usually for production apps. So I'm gonna do a separate video for that. And yeah, so these are the React developer tools. I hope you liked the explanation, and see you in my next video.